Welcome everyone to this 13th episode of HERETICUS, our bi-weekly Warhammer 40,000 Dark Heresy 1st edition campaign. And we are one player short this week. Aya is not with us for real life reasons. And so there's just me, Accolon, Timotheus and Sister Francesca. So, but what happened last time we played? You met a Space Marine, which
yes, we did.
For your characters is probably the first time you've ever met a Space Marine.
Yes.
Well, you didn't meet him; you saw him. Yes. As it turned out, a kill team, a Deathwatch kill team, had arrived at the Tricorn and had taken over your Inquisitor's quarters for themselves for the duration of their stay. Supposedly, they're on their way to the battlefield on Piety of Seth, where a war rages. But that's not the only thing that happened. You also did some research because the Medici Ansel Mons gave you a name. You asked him to cross-reference the scans you'd made down in the Crimson Screaming Wheel Cantina with Inquisition records, and he came up with a list of 3 names. One of them was Isil Gul'jan, and this is interesting because your fellow acolyte Trina had previously mentioned a Lance Gul'jan to you as a potential person of interest, and Sister Francesca then did some research into this family name, and what she came up with was that roughly a millennium ago, the Gul'jans were the ones who tipped off the Inquisition regarding the existence of these 10 geometric shapes, and in much more recent history, one of the Gul'jans had been mutated. As I recall, he sprouted tentacles from his. She, sorry.
You corrected that on me now, so I remember that it had been a woman.
That is absolutely fair. And also, actually, Ansel Mons also treated this person, or rather, he had some kind of interaction with her. Other than that, Tim came up with the brilliant idea of tripping Trina, basically putting out a leg as she walked past. The result of this is that as you've decided that you guys will be going down to the Mid-Hive once more to continue your investigations down there, Trina will investigate the Gul'jans. You reasoned that it might be a good idea for it to be someone with some kind of political presence to do that, and not you guys. But she insists that Tim comes with her. I think
one can only wonder why.
Yes, she was quite specific that it had to be Tim.
Yeah, she didn't really want to take no for an answer.
No, not on this one. So that's. Oh, we also had a flashback because the session before last ended with you guys having a little gathering in the Medici facility in the Tricorn, where you basically talked about each other's pasts and so on. And we only got to hear Accolon's past back then. So
I think we did get to hear about Francesca's and Tim's last time.
Yes, the last time we did, but not the session before that. So we decided to have a little flashback to that
Yes.
gathering, and I think the intent was for Medea to have to talk a bit about her past as well, but some voices in her head put a stop to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So
She does in fact hear voices in her head.
yes, she does. We decided that is a manifestation of her corruption points. Is these delightful voices in her head?
Isn't
Yeah.
it just lovely?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yes, absolutely. I
She
certainly
knows
do.
how Aquilon feels.
Yep.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. You guys decided to go down to the mid-hive. Some of you, at least 2 of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
The 2 most conspicuous of us are going down.
Yes.
yes,
And the remaining one who isn't conspicuous is going off on a suicide mission with the boss that he decided it would be such a good idea to piss off for for shits and giggles.
yes,
Because we love the shits and giggles thing.
yes,
don't
we do. We
Yes.
really do. It's a thing for us. So I think we'll start with Tim and Trina, because it doesn't take long for her to get ready, and for you guys to start on what it is you're going to do, which is ascend up into the spires of the upper hive to talk to some nobles. And you do that. She insists that you 2 walk there, and the walk is. I wouldn't necessarily say it's awkward, but it is a walk made in silence. She doesn't really say anything except to guide you as you ascend to the upper spires.
I have to say to that, Heine, that really does surprise me. I mean, it's shocking, isn't it?
Yes.
That she would be so petty, I suppose. Okay, I'll be quiet now before she jumps off the pages and kills me.
She wouldn't.
Oh yeah, she really would.
So yeah, you do make that journey up into the spires that are the upper hive of Hive Sabellus, and it is quite a different view than you're used to down in the mid-hive, which is cramped and filled with dirty workers and all kinds of noise. As you reach the upper spires, I wouldn't say the air is clean, because it isn't, but it's a whole other. It's very different. It's you walk down wide vistas or avenues, not vistas, but avenues, neatly trimmed and decorated with all sorts of finery. You walk through colonnades of statues of various saints and historical figures from Hive Sabellus, and the shuttles that you pass on your way to the Gul'jan estate are exquisitely made. They aren't dirty. They don't cough out black smoke as they pass you, and you see plenty of military there as well, because whenever a noble person is out on the street, he or she they're always accompanied by their own retinue of private soldiers in garish outfits that are not at all suited for the battlefield. That's not to say that they aren't properly armed and armored, but they do wear.
The toy soldiers.
They are very much toy soldiers. Toy soldiers that can pack a punch. But you do reach the Gul'jan estates, and even though the Gul'jans are a minor house in the grand scheme of things in Hive Sabellus, their manor is vast. It is ostentatious. It's a display of wealth and opulence, and also of devotion to the god emperor, with all sorts of iconography plastered all over the buildings. There are multiple buildings on the estate, and all of them in either gold or similar precious metals. But it is also empty. There is not a soul to be seen within the premises of this estate. And Trina, as you approach the main building of the estate, turns to Tim, and she has a worried look on her face. She then scans the surrounding buildings, or estates, because that's what they are really, up here in the upper spires. And she not satisfied with something, and she points to a building across the avenue from where this where the Gul'jan estate is, and she says, "Do you see that building over there?" And she points to this building.
I do. Good vantage point.
Yes, exactly, and that is where you will take up your position.
Understood. Do we
Good.
have communication?
She hands you a microbead, which is basically
Takes it.
cool.
And equips it, and then
Yes.
he gets going.
Good. So the building across the street is it's an Adeptus Arbites station precinct, and it is currently empty because the Arbites has recently relocated to a different building within this district, and it is
Thing?
so since it's empty, it's basically a perfect spot for you to set up shop, and with no one asking any questions.
In that case, I do. Making sure to scan any entrance and exit as I move up onto a high vantage point.
Okay. So you find a good vantage point, and as Trina walks up to the entrance to the estate, the main manor house, she tests her microbead just to make sure that you can hear her, and you can. And of course she then awaits a reply, which I assume you give her.
Of course, I'm in position.
Excellent. She then walks up to the massive double doors leading into the building, and you see from where you are, it's probably 50 meters from where you're sitting to this set of double doors, and you see she just pushes open the one of the doors.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
That is, and that's pretty much what she says. Is, well, this is not good, and she
Stay near the windows.
will do. She disappears into the building, and you can see as she walks through the hallways that she does stay near the windows. Give me an awareness test, please. As I assume at least that you scan the building from where you're sitting with your scope or
Of course.
something. Cool. then give me an awareness test.
I assume just flat.
Yes. Well, no, not flat. You get a plus 10 because you are using your scope. So. Oh. Cool. That's a good roll.
Yeah.
So even from your
That's nice, because we are, quite frankly, not accustomed to good rolls in this group.
No, I think I upped my awareness last time.
That's good.
That seems like a thing for a sniper to have.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, now that you mention it.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, so Trina moves through the building, and like I said, she makes sure to stay near the windows. And you scan the building with your rifle, or rather the scope. And you notice 3 stories above where she is. She's still on the ground floor. You see a figure darting past one of the windows. It's quick, but you have no doubt that there was someone there.
3 stories above you. Quick figure darted past one of the windows.
All right. She continues to move through. You see as she also moves past one of the windows, so that she's now drawn her weapon. And she reports back to you that there is no sign of life. There's also no signs of any struggle so far. But I'll continue to investigate. Could you give me another awareness test, please? Also a plus 10.
Of course. Oh, I mean,
Wow.
I guess that's part of the reason I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see from another part of the building also this figure stands in one of the windows. It doesn't move past it, but it stands there. It
I assume
is.
it hasn't been standing there all the time.
Nope. I assume you kind of scan the various floors and then rinse and repeat, really. And it wasn't there before, but it's standing there now. It's wearing noble finery. But the noble finery is torn, it's ripped, and the figure standing there just stands there, looking out the window.
I let her know what I see.
Roger that. I am going to move into the main hall here on the first floor. This means I won't be visible to you. But
Do I know if I can reposition to keep an eye on her?
No, you wouldn't be able to, because this is further in the building, so repositioning wouldn't do you much good. It's basically one of the central rooms in the manor, and there are likely no windows.
Well, Tim lets her know that he'll be keeping an eye out.
Okay. There's a few moments of silence. You don't hear her speaking or anything. You don't see any figures in the windows. The person you did see before, who was staring out one of the windows, isn't there anymore. It too has vanished.
In that case, I let her know that.
Okay. Could you give me an awareness test, please?
You get to roll quite a lot today.
With the same modifier, I assume?
Yes, +1. No, actually, well, it doesn't really matter, because that's a damn good roll. Wow. Cool.
Yeah, okay.
So you hear footsteps
Behind me?
coming up the staircase leading up to the floor where you're currently positioned.
I think I give her a short notice that I hear footsteps, and then I move to be in a position to see the am I on the roof, right? Or
You're not in the roof really, but you can absolutely move up to the roof.
I just want to be ready for whoever's coming up.
Right. Okay. So what you've done is that I imagine at least, you've chosen a room where you have the advantage, where you have a clear view of any entrance into the room. There is only one entrance. You can't be assaulted from multiple sides, and so there is that at least. And as you do you continue to keep an eye on the house, or are you more concerned with whoever is in your building?
think Tim says I hear footsteps. I'll move so I can see if anyone is coming up. Be careful. So to let her know that I'm currently not keeping an eye on the building until I know what the situation here is.
Sure. And okay, so she acknowledges with a Roger that, or something to that effect. And you continue to hear these footsteps. Now they've reached your floor at this point, and they're moving down the hallway toward where you're sitting, the room you're sitting in.
I take aim, just to be certain.
Mm-hmm. They then stop. And could you give me I know you've given me a few already, but could you give me another awareness test?
I think he really wants you to fail by now, Rasmus.
No.
I think so. I'm guessing just flat.
Yes, just flat. Wow, that's pretty damn cool. You hear whispers. Yes, you hear whispers out in the hallway.
What? Are you suggesting that he can't get a +10 for his scope to hear whispers?
Yes. That is exactly what I'm suggesting. But yeah, you do hear whispers.
Can I hear what they're whispering?
You did get 3+ degrees of success. So you get the sense that whoever is talking is giving an order to someone else to sweep this floor. And you're not getting the sense that he's talking about sweeping with a broom or something to that effect.
No, making sure so no one's there.
Yes.
Okay. So there's only one way up from here, yes?
Yeah, you'd have to. First of all, you'd have to get up to another floor. You'd have to leave this room and out into the hallway, and they're standing outside in the hallway. Whoever it is.
Then I think my best course of action is to continue to take aim, so that I can quickly see if it's shoot or don't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So that will probably be a split-second decision.
Yeah, shoot first, ask questions later. That sounds
I could always lower my aim slightly as to shoot in the kneecap or something.
Sure. So I need to look up something real quick. There we go. Do we have... No, we don't. Okay. So you see, as you sit there waiting for something to happen, and you're ready to take that shot if someone enters the doorframe or the doorway. You see just outside on the floor, you see the unmistakable laser from a laser sight.
So someone aiming or...
Yes, exactly.
So where did I see that?
On the floor just outside the doorway. So out in the hallway, out in the corridor.
Coming from the corridor or coming
Yes.
from the window behind me?
Coming from the corridor. And it's moving as if whoever is carrying the weapon it's attached on is moving, and you can also hear footsteps coming down toward your door.
Well, that gives me a pretty good indicator of when they will be within shooting, so I'm ready just as they come around the door, I assume.
Yes. So for a few heartbeats, nothing happens. You sit there, you wait, you hear the footsteps come closer, and then you see a figure come into the doorway, and it's not just standing there. It's stepping out into the doorway so that the person can raise its weapon and search the room quickly for anyone in there. The room you're in, that is. And that is pretty much where you take when you take your shot. So let's see that. So what are you aiming at right now?
I think I'll do a cold shot to the arm then, to try and hopefully sort of disarm him.
Okay. So you see the figure who's now standing in the doorway, ready to enter the room, weapon raised. He's wearing carapace armor, and he also wears a helmet, which has. It's clear that this helmet has various alternate visions, such as thermal sight and probably also some kind of night vision. Did you take the shot?
Yeah, I mean, unless I can see very clearly that this is an arbitrace or a specimen or whatever. A don't shoot target.
It is not. It's not something you've seen before. It wears black carapace armor. But that's really it. There are no distinguishing features.
You know what? As a sniper, there's no room for hesitation. So I make the decision and I aim for the head.
Okay. And is that with a hot shot?
Let's have a look.
Let's just put it this way: if he is in fact wearing carapace armor on his head, then that is definitely something you might want to consider using a hot shot on. It's got lots. It's significant armor value.
In that case, yes.
Okay.
A hot shot.
He must be really close too. Is he?
Yes,
he's
I'd say
blank briefly,
yep.
isn't he?
Yeah, he would be. He would
So
be.
that gives you further pluses to hit.
Yes, I think plus 10 maybe.
Yeah, it's an extra plus 10 to hit.
Yes, that's a good point. I hadn't considered it.
So I assume I rolled the shot.
Mhm.
And I aimed for quite a while. So what's
Sure.
that? What are the bonuses I get?
You get a plus 20.
And since I no longer take penalties for cold shots. Oh.
Did you
What?
let's see, because
I am currently considering whether to reroll or not.
that's your decision, but you know that if you miss the shot, it's going to be a firefight.
Yeah, I will reroll.
Okay.
But you sounded like you had a question. Did I forget to account for something?
I just wanted to make sure we have all factors factored in, because you have plus 20 for aim, you have plus 20 for the point blank. That's plus 30.
Isn't that plus 40 then? If I have plus 20.
It's plus 10 and plus 20, not plus 20 and plus 20.
Oh,
sorry.
Add it all in. Still, I don't think it will take me above 81.
No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so
plus 30.
yes.
You sound like you want to say something more.
No.
He's all good.
4 degrees of success.
Well, now that's much better. Okay, so what you do now is you roll twice for damage,
Yes.
and you take the better.
And it's plus 1 extra damage. And
Yes.
more armor pen.
Yeah,
Yes.
More armor pen.
penetration.
Holy shit.
So
Yes.
you can do the splatty.
Yes. So it doesn't raise my damage die, right?
Nope, it just allows you to roll twice and take the better of the two. Well, it doesn't get any better than that.
I want to take the first one.
Yes. Can you please do me a favor and re-roll your attack, please?
Yes, there's a chance you do Emperor's Fury here.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
We have been so bad at rolling damage that I think this is one of the first times we see it.
I think we've had it once, maybe twice
You don't
before.
roll damage yet. You roll attack first.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
You have to confirm.
No worries.
Yes, I have not done this before.
No, that's fine.
It's all good.
Yep.
Wow.
So now you roll a d10.
Then you roll d10, yes.
Just a d10.
Just flat.
Yes. Okay. So that's 21 points of damage
To the head.
to the head.
With
Also,
4
I
points of
have,
penetration. That's an ouch.
Yes.
I have crack shot, so I have plus 2 damage with critical shot.
Wow. Cool.
And you have mighty shot. You have counted that in there, haven't you?
I've counted that in,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I think this man is in a lot of trouble. I'm just guessing.
Poor little mercenary. Let's see. Carapace. Carapace helm. Damn it. Its AP is exactly 4. So you negate its armor. Its armor points. So it's just down to its toughness. Yeah. So what happens is you're aiming at a specific point, and then the man steps into view. You adjust your aim a teeny tiny bit, and then you pull the trigger. And this all happens very fast. And the man doesn't get to react. He slumps to the floor dead.
But make it sound, because it's a lass, so it doesn't really, does it?
It does actually have a bit of a.
Yeah, but it's if you're lucky, it hasn't alerted anyone.
It isn't much. I mean,
No,
the only way
it isn't.
you can kind of go by the various Dawn of War games to see how much sound a las gun makes.
Yeah,
and it
it's
really mostly it sounds like it makes a sound which is not unlike what happens when you use one of those classroom Tesla coils.
Yes, exactly, and it is also worth mentioning that this happens just as he steps into view. So the noise that he makes as well, the weapon he's holding, the carapace, and so on, it all combines to make it all but soundless. This kill of yours. And he dies. And at that same moment, you hear Trina's voice in your microbeat saying, she sounds shocked, and she says, "By the Emperor's mercy."
What's wrong?
You need to get over here.
Be right there. Well then, I hope the other guy didn't hear anything. I reload my long last with that there one clip thing.
Hot shot.
Yes.
Cool.
And then I want to be quiet as a mouse. Or well, I suppose in Tim's case, because I heard someone else was there, so I want to be ready to surprise them if needs be. I think he'll also, if he deems it safe, kneel briefly by the mercenary just to see if he can find any kind of identification.
Okay, so first he kneels by the dead
He listens.
person and sees if there's any identifying thingies, and there aren't any. This man does not exist.
Talk tags. Yeah.
Exactly. So he has none of that. And you listen. You hear someone else moving about in the on the same floor as you're in.
Does it sound like they're in a room that is further away from the stairs down?
Yes, it does.
In that case, I shall very quietly slip down the stairs, hopefully unnoticed.
Could you give me a silent move test?
I don't see how that's relevant. Just flat,
Well,
yes?
I do. Yeah, just flat.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed.
Whoops.
So what happens is that you reach the stairs, and basically when you first came up the stairs and onto this floor, there are several hallways leading away from the staircase, and as you reach it, you see this individual also clad in carapace armor. He's moving down one of the other hallways. But for some reason you make some sound as you reach the staircase, and he turns around, and we need to roll initiative.
What is that? 1d10 plus agility modifier?
Agility, yes.
Cool. At least I have lightning reflexes, so that's always something.
Mm-hmm.
And what's 1d10?
Yes.
Alright, because I almost rolled 1d20.
I will do like so, and I will do like so. And I will say Merc. You can just type in your initiative, and 10 plus.
Ah, you added the dot.
Okay, you get to act first. Lucky you.
Very lucky him.
Yeah, I think so, because Tim is not particularly heavily armored.
No, so you've either got to kill him or be killed. It's a classic standoff.
Kill or be killed. Yes,
Yes.
we've seen that before in oh, I don't know, just about every war ever.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Sol- what was- from Soldier's Prayer. Oh dear God, let me kill this bastard before he kills me.
Yes.
Yes, that's classic.
So, Tim, you get to act first.
Well, let's do the classic then. Half action to aim, and then headshot.
So that's plus 10. And since you don't, and you also get what was that?
For being close?
You're not that close. You're not in point blank range to this guy. So you don't get for that. So yeah, it's just so you have a scope on, and that's usually also a factor. It adds something as well.
I believe it adds, or rather it does, so you don't detract as much for long range shots, but I'm not sure.
Maybe. Let's see.
I'm looking for it.
Probably a telescopic sight. Ignores penalties. Yeah. Okay. So that just ignores penalties. Cool.
So plus 10.
Yes. Oh, what I was thinking about is the red dot laser sight. Basically, what the now dead mercenary you had on his weapon. That gives a plus 10 bonus to ballistic skill tests. So yeah.
Yes, I might put off a few seconds to take that once I've shot this guy's head into a canoe.
Let's see if you can actually turn this guy's head into a canoe.
Well, you do
Well, I
succeed.
certainly hit.
Yep. And you've told me that you're using hot shots, so roll twice for damage.
That's a 15.
Okay. So
And it's a headshot, of course.
it's a headshot, yes. So you do hit his head, but and he does take damage. Basically, the helmet is ripped off his head, and his head is a bloody mess. But he is still alive. He's
Stunned then.
he is absolutely stunned, so he can't act this round.
Well then.
So the thing is, you need to reload your weapon.
No, I don't.
No, you have the fire
that
selector.
There, I do. So I
Yes.
just switch to the other kind of ammo. Is that
Yes.
any sort of action?
Oh, it's a free action because you have
I
that fire
use the
selector.
half action to aim, and then let's see if I can't shoot his head off.
Okay.
Tim has turned out to be quite efficient.
Yes. Certainly with these.
Don't jinx it.
Nope, you hit.
Let's
Just.
see. That's,
Yeah.
You said his helmet flew off.
Yes. So he's no longer
That's
protected. Which.
This only adds extra damage.
Mhm.
$14.
He's dead. You you do in fact turn his head into a canoe or something to that effect, because he dies most gruesomely. And
Interesting.
Very well done.
yes, very well done indeed. And I assume then that you you scamper down the staircase and
I think Tim informs Trina that he has just disposed of 2 hostiles and he'll be right there. Then he takes a second to snatch that laser scope, because surely that was just because he disposed of hostiles that he took so long to get there. And then let's move.
okay, cool.
Actually, let's do a careful descent down the stairs, not to run into that boss.
Yeah, cool. You don't want a boss fight right now. Okay, cool. So let's jump over to Sister Francesca and Akalon for a second. What do you plan to do?
Are you hereby suggesting that we should be making plans?
Yes.
Damn it.
God.
All right. No, the situation up in the upper spire is, of course, completely unknown to us, and we
Yes.
have our own mission to take care of, because as far as we know, there's still, I don't know, about 6 or 7 million heretics in the Middle Hive.
Yes.
So,
Roughly,
and
give or take.
And while it would be much easier to simply order the complete obliteration of that entire level, that would also severely diminish the output of military equipment from the manufactorum, or from the manufactura in the on that level, meaning
Yes.
we can't really do that without getting into all manner of other trouble. Consequently, we're probably going to have to go around and kill all 6 million of them individually.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in other words, Sister Francesca is having a really fucking bad day.
I mean, granted, it's inefficient, but I thought she'd relish the chance to, get up close and personal.
Yeah, it's not the getting up close and personal that's the problem here. The problem is that it's going to take so long to get through them that by the time we're 1/3 through, the children that we didn't catch of the first ones we killed will have grown up, armed themselves, and come after us.
True, but
So-
when has that ever stopped agents of the Inquisition before?
It has never stopped agents of the Inquisition, but it is incredibly inefficient.
And that's the Imperium of Man in a nutshell.
Yes.
Are you hereby pointing out that the Imperium of Man is in fact not perfect?
Heresy.
It's
Heretic!
It is perfect. It is perfect in its inefficiency.
Thank you. Better. Okay. On that note, I think Francesca will have requisition some kind of transport for them back down to the Middle Hive, and if at all possible, she will have managed to she will have requisitioned someone to get them a speeder to take them all the way down to exactly where they were, down to the ruins of the of the bar. I'm sure that by now the ruins of that place are all but stripped bare, and it's probably crawling with corrupt arbitrates. But I don't really give a shit, because that's the last place we were, and I saw what direction that damn truck came from, so that's the direction I intend to go.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Cool. So getting down there is not an issue at all. So yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Should probably be added that because it's not entirely without consequence here, of course. That seeing as she's really only allowed to carry two weapons for on any mission as per her Adepta rules, she is bringing the heavy flamer and her bolter. As the weaponry, and she's bringing 2 extra clips for each.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you say, Chris?
I was going to say Aquilon's in a similar situation that he can't really be inconspicuous either, and he'll have brought along all the weapons he acquisitioned last time, so he'll have this las pistol to the side, and he'll have gotten rid of his compact las pistol because there's no point going small and quiet at the moment.
Nope.
And he'll have his own flamer, not a heavy flamer, but just a flamer with him.
Okay.
I will also have seen if it is at all possible to requisition an additional an extra auspex, and if it is possible to get some box speeds that have a slightly longer range than the ones we're using.
Yeah, how far do those reach?
The point is that what we're using are Vox speeds, and they're not terribly large and consequently don't have much range, but I was thinking if we could have actual Vox casters, the headset. They're nowhere near as inconspicuous, but right now I don't care.
That's stupid being told, huh?
Yeah.
Because if we could get something that has a range of, I think the one we have now has a range of something like 1.5 kilometers, isn't that it?
Microbeads have a range of about 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer even,
yes.
Yeah, that's, bloody nothing. So if there's something there that we could lay our grimy hands on, which has a longer range, it would be much appreciated.
Right. Okay, so the thing is, these Voxcasters are, their range is basically out to space if needed.
I see. So those are the full radio set.
Yes, but I would be surprised if there wasn't some middle ground, like you said, a headset of some sort that has a longer reach than these small microbeads. Yeah. So yeah, you can absolutely requisition that.
Something that might have a range of, let's just say, 5 kilometers would be nice.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah.
And as I said, if they have an auspex to attach to a heavy weapon, then I would attach the one that one to my heavy flamer, and I would, like a ding ding, think aliens here.
Yep.
And I would give the one I already have, which is handheld, to Aquilon.
Okay.
If that is doable.
It is. You would have to spend some time in the training ground or training area, which unfortunately isn't possible right now, to get used to the idea of the extra weight on your flamer. So.
All right. Well, then in that case, we'll just go for an extra handheld one for now, and I can always get the other one when we get back and have access to our training facilities.
Yes.
Because right now, of course, they are regretfully, or not regretfully, they are mercifully taken up by the great big boys in blue, or in this case, the great big boys in black.
Yes.
grief! Yes, the Space Marines.
One of them, coincidentally, is actually wearing a blue shoulder plate. Not that you know, but
Get out of here.
The guys with the repulsive reverse vagina on their shoulder pads.
yes,
Let's just get out of here.
Yes.
We have a Marine in the complex.
yes.
There is nothing.
You can feel the arrogance just emanating from the training grounds.
I've only got
waves.
I've only got one thing to say to that preconception, Joan.
Mhm.
Captain Titus.
Yeah, Captain Titus was also ousted, for God's sakes.
Yes, doesn't change the fact that he was an Ultramarine for a while and a reasonable
Yes, for a
one.
while. But the Ultramarines are so arrogant, they didn't want him, so Captain Titus doesn't count.
He got put into the Death Watch anyway, so it might be him, for all we know.
But yes.
Anyway, yes.
You do get your Vox
Yes.
headset
I'll
thing.
just add that as a 5-kilometer Vox.
Yes. I think 5 kilometers makes that makes sense.
So, Francesco's got one of these, and
You would have one as well, and I would, basically what I would be doing is requisition one for everyone in the group. But since there is only the two of us right now,
Yep.
and then as I said, a handheld Auspex for Achelon as well, because we really do need to be able to take as many scans as possible.
Yes. You can absolutely get an Auspex.
Awesome.
It should be mentioned that the Auspex is actually somewhat more limited than what we've been using it for so far. In that it's but
It is like a motion scanner primarily, then, isn't it?
yeah, it really is. It has certain
That's so cool.
yeah. It wouldn't be able to record as we did. Going by the book at least, but we're not going to wreck on it at all. But
No. We'll just not do it from this point onwards.
Yeah. Or just say that the one Sister Francesca had actually does have that ability. It's all good.
Well, in that case, I'll just add that she's got a handheld Auspex with basic recording capabilities.
Yes. Let's go with that. That
It
works.
was, after all, something she found. I mean, that's the one she's been carrying since that moon, since Luna.
Yes.
We don't know what they've been needing from, spiffy extra equipment on that place.
Very true.
So-
Very true.
It makes, I don't know, as much sense as anything in the first Millennium, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So before we carry on, I think I know it's a bit early, but I think we'll take our first break and then we'll see what happens when we get back.